All right, today I am going to be sharing my picks for the 2025-2026, wow, school year for my 8th grader. And I have a lot of books to show you, but I feel like I keep simplifying, but there is a reason we have a lot of books. So stay tuned if you're interested in seeing eclectic homeschool choices. Welcome to Learning with Boys. My name is Rachel. I am a homeschool mom. I have 4 boys. I have graduated to this school year. I have a senior and a 7th grader. But next year, I only have 1, and that will be my son going into 8th grade. And that is what I want to share with you is his 2025-2026 curriculum picks. I'm very excited to be showing you all this. I do want to tell you a little bit about us. We are a Christian homeschool family. We do have a Christian worldview. I do tend to lean a little bit towards a Charlotte Mason style, especially in the choice of history, and you'll see that in all of the living books that I will be showing you. But I also want to mention that I personally feel like 8th grade is a hard year to make the final choices. So I am sharing with you my choices, but I also want to mention that I do have the right to change my mind before the school starts. So I'm pretty confident in everything. There is one thing that I'm still working on, and I'll explain that to you when it comes. I feel like 8th grade is hard because you know it's that final year before they go into high school. And you start questioning everything. And then I had to remind myself this morning that I need to take my own advice, and that is, Rachel, you just take the next step. And that is what I have been praying for, some guidance from the Lord and just direction and just the way he learns. I need to focus on that and not so much of what I could be missing out on or what am I doing too much or too little. But let's go ahead and look at curriculum and see what my choices were for this school year, for this coming 8th grader. Okay, the first thing I'm going to mention is his Bible, and that is something he starts with first every morning. It's going to be a little bit different next school year because it is more of an inductive study, and it is from Simply Charlotte Mason, Foundations in Romans. So I have looked through this, and I'm very, very excited about it. Neither of us have done anything like this before. I am still debating on whether to get my own copy. I did purchase this one used, so I really just wanted to look through it before I made a final decision. But it looks good. He will be also doing some Bible memory through the history program that we use, and I'll share that with you. But actually Romans chapter 12, so that's pretty neat. But it's also James, the book of James. So that will go good with this study of Romans. I also want to mention these 2 books that my goal is to maybe do them more family style, or maybe as read alouds just with us. I'm not really sure yet. And one of them is God's Rules for Holiness, Unlocking the 10 Commandments. I read this book last year, and my husband has read it, and I really feel like I wish I would have read it sooner. It would have been a great book to add in as a read aloud with a homeschool family. So, and then also this book, Jungle Pilot, the story of Nate Saint. And we've had this book on our shelf for a little while, and because of my son's interest and the reviews that I read, I really feel like this would be a good book that would encourage spiritual growth in the Lord. So we are going to probably one semester one and one semester the other book for those. Now, I do want to mention this because for this school year, they are new, which is his planner. And they are from Mardel, and it's the Simple Plan Student Planner. Now, I may be a little familiar if you've been watching me for a while because I did use these with my high schooler that's getting ready to graduate, and I feel like they worked really well. So I would just wanted to introduce him to it this school year and then see how that goes and if this is what we'll continue with through high school. Now, if you've watched my videos at all, you know that I am not one that has to have a homeschool planner. But I got this actually at the Mardel store when I was visiting some family, and I ended up getting the teacher one also. Now, there are a few reasons I did, and one of them is because I'm actually going to be putting his science curriculum together this school year. I am pulling from a lot of resources, and the idea started with what was already scheduled in his history guide, which was just some chemistry and some creation science. It was just a mix each semester. But I am thinking about this particular child, and I am thinking a little bit into the future. I know you're supposed to think one step at a time, but as they are entering high school, I'm thinking, okay, he'll need these, he will have requirements. So I actually contacted our umbrella, which is one of the things we have to be under in the state of Tennessee to turn in our homeschool grades. And they did confirm with me that he can do 2 high school credits in 8th grade. So I asked him if physical science was one of them, and he said yes. So my plan is to take some of the suggestions in the guide, and this is just my thoughts because this is the curriculum that I have not put all together yet. But I'm going to give you some of my ideas just so you know, and it is stuff that I'm familiar with. And that would be the John Hudson Tyner books. I have the physics, I have the chemistry, and I also have a mathematics one. So this would be a physical science, not actually physics. A couple other things are DVD videos, Physics 101 and Chemistry 101. Now, these can be used in a variety of ways. I have used these in high school. I have also used the biology one, but I am debating on using them to the extent because each one would be a full year. Just some thoughts that I'm putting together to make a physical science curriculum for my son. I also have a couple books that I would like to include, but I'm not sure yet. And that is Albert Einstein and the Theory of Relativity, and also The Atoms and the Family. Now, this is all part of the Heart of Dakota curriculum. Also is where I got these choices from. So that is something I need to work on a little bit more, but I felt like I wanted to share the curriculum with you. So my goal is a physical science and credit that he can use for high school. So I really need to make sure that he is moving forward because he did do a physical science this school year, but I feel like it definitely needs to up another level of information for it to be counted as a high school course. So, and I also want to do some type of lab with that. And that is something else I'm looking into. I have ideas of that. I just don't have it all together. So there's some planning guides that I can use in this. And I may do a look through of these 2 planners in a different video because they are wonderful. They are my favorite if I decide I want to use a planner for homeschool. All right, let's do language arts. Okay, so for grammar, I'm going to go back to something that we have used, and that is Fix It. And I'm actually going to do Robin Hood. Now, if you go back a year, you see that we did Robin Hood, but he did not finish it. And because of this past school year, I don't know if the grammar was really, really strong to pick up the next book for Fix It. So I'm going to repeat this. And I had that in the back of my mind as a possibility because grammar is something that you just constantly review and build on. So he will review it the first half of the year, and then it will start probably about where he ended. So this is what he's going to be doing for grammar. For writing, we are going to do IEW, but I'm going to do a themed book, and it's modern world history based writing lessons. I really debated on doing level B year 1. Now, we have done videos over the years with my older boys. My son that's graduating did level C in high school. And I think that's what I was struggling with. Do I want to buy level B year 1 when I have level C? But I really researched and looked inside quite a few of the themed books. And we did the free trial of level B, which I think he would be fine with. But I didn't want to invest in that when I actually already have level C, like the lifetime streaming. So what I think I'll do is this school year and then level C in the future, whether it be 9th or 10th grade. So I'm excited about this. His older brother actually did this in 9th grade, and I think it's 7th, 8th, and 9th is what it's for. So I'm excited about that. I think he'll do well for it. I really looked through it, and I can do a look through of that if you're interested. Now, let me show you these real quick. They are the Fix-It grammar cards. I do highly suggest this if you consider Fix-It. Let me mention literature. We haven't really done literature. We do more of a Charlotte Mason type style history, and we do have like narration, oral, and written. But I already had this. One of my boys did read this book, The Swiss Family Robinson, but we have not used the study guide, which is by Progeny. And I really debated on a study guide for the book, but I feel like I looked through it and there's a lot in there that I would like to go over with him. So we have this book with this guide, and I have another book, but I have not purchased the guide, but Progeny has it, and it's the Bronze Bow. I have read, well, all my boys have been through this book. I think one of them I read it with, and then another one read it while he listened to, and I'm trying to remember if the other one read it on his own. I feel like he did, or he may have listened to it and read it. So I'm going to have him read this. I may have him listen to it and read it. It's just one of those books. This is a great book. I really do love it, but I just don't want them to miss anything, or I may just get another copy and read the chapters with him and maybe discuss it with him and do the guide. We'll see what happens. But I wanted to let you know we're going to try that this school year. And I feel like I just wanted to be simple about it before we went into high school, especially to see how these work. I'm trying not to add a lot because we do have a lot of other books that I'm going to be showing you here in a minute. Okay, I'm going to step in here because I forgot something pretty important, and that is math, what we are using for our 8th grade year, and that is Learn Math Fast. Now, they have several books. We will be using book 3 and 4, which is Pre-Algebra and Basic Geometry. I have done a video recently, and I have a couple other videos that talk about this curriculum. It is new to us this school year, but it has been an answer to prayer, and we are going to continue on using it as long as it is working. I do want to mention this is the curriculum that I do have an affiliate with. They gave me the curriculum to use and to share with you all, but it has been such a blessing. I will link it below with a coupon code if you are interested, and I will also link the videos below. So let's continue with the video. I'm going to share a couple electives and also our history and enrichments. Okay, I want to show you 2 things that I would consider electives, but I feel like I want them to be introduced, and really had thought about, depending on how our summer goes, of starting a little bit of these during the summer, but we'll see what happens. We always have high hopes, right? The first thing is going to be logic, and I want to introduce this school year because I probably will do a logic for credit next school year. But this is the thinking toolbox, 35 lessons that will build your reasoning skills. So I did a little research, and this was suggested to read through first, and then the fallacy detective. So I thought he could read one each semester, or maybe he'll start this summer. This is something he would be interested in. So I don't think it's going to be a problem to get him to read through these books. I'm very, very excited about it. So the other thing is actually a computer class, and it is from CompuScholar, and it's called Digital Savvy. I have used this particular one with one of my other boys, and we used one of the programming classes they offer for my oldest son. But I really want him to have a good solid introduction, and this covers hardware, software, operating systems, managing file folders, basic networking, online safety and computer security, using word processors, spreadsheets, and presentation programs, creating simple database, image editing, using social media and email communications, introductory website design, simple computer programming concepts, and exploration of computer careers. So this is a solid year curriculum. That's why I'm thinking if I can, because it is divided. I sort of like how they give me an idea of how it is divided up. They do have instructional videos. So this is an online program. Lesson texts, so things that you will read, and projects you will do, quizzes and exams and chapter activities. And there's also you sign in as the teacher. So there'll be teacher guides, the answer keys, and activity solutions, which is nice. You can actually look on and click on the syllabus, and it gives you an idea of what each class, what each objective is going to be and how many days it takes. So it's not like, okay, 5 days of this and 5 days of that. I mean, one thing could be 6 days, another thing could be 8 days. So they would be 8 school days. I did like that in the planning process. It would help me when to start, when to schedule it, if we're having any breaks, that I would know where to cut off. So that's good to know. I'm glad they offer all that information ahead of time. Okay, I am going to turn the camera around and show you the history because there's quite a few books and I just thought it'd be easier this way. This is Heart of Dakota's. What they would say is their 8th grade curriculum, but there is an age range. You can actually even use this like the first year or two of high school with some adjustments. But we are going to be using it in 8th, and its Missions to Modern Marvel, which would be modern US and modern world history mixed. So very excited about that. I probably will do a look through of this guide. I was thinking about all the curriculum I'm using, and most of it is used, either bought used or most of it I have already used. But I did use this once before, but it has been with my oldest, who, I mean, that was probably 10 years ago. So it's been a while, but my second son did read the books, which I will share with you. Now, this is because it is a Charlotte Mason style curriculum. There will be a lot of books, and I'm about to show you all of the books. The first set of books are going to be considered the spines. I'll give you a look at a page just so you know. There's reading about history, there's story time, history project. There's a lot of other things I'm going to share with you, but the books I'm showing you will consist of these 2 boxes that bring the history to life. So the read about history would be the All-American History Student Reader, and this is the 2nd book. They're also going to use Story of the World, the 4th book. And here's a few more other spines that they use. Rescue and Redeemed, Great Events in American History, Hero Tales, Volume 3, and Hero Tales, Volume 2. Let me show you what the Storytime books will look like. Okay, these are in the order the best that I could do, but Under the Hawthorn Tree, which is a great book. I'm excited about this one. They're all good. I'm going to say that about each one of them. God's Adventure, Mama's Bank Account, Angel on the Square, War Horse, which he read this school year, so I'm debating on finding a substitute or letting him read it again. Gladys Allward, Frederick, Coming In on a Wing and a Prayer, I Am David, Freedom Walkers. I'm not sure if this is the correct book, but this is one I found that I think I can use. Destination Moon, Children of the Storm, and Careful Enough. I'm actually substituting one of the books with this. This is one of the books they use in high school. So those are the Storytime books. Because it has a Charlotte Mason style, this Heart of Dakota curriculum, there are some enrichments. And this history will include geography. This is something I have to print off. They will also use this United States History Atlas. Now, I have a lot of planning to do, a lot of printing off. They actually have notebook pages, which I did not order. I pulled out my son who used them 10 years ago. And I'm debating on letting him make and design his own. There are things in these pages that I feel like are important. I really struggled with whether to order them. And I actually talked to a friend who uses Heart of Dakota also. And she said, honestly, I may just pull the old ones out and let them read what they need to read and look at what they need to look at and create his own. Her other son really enjoys like artwork and that type of thing anyways. He's a little bit younger too. He's in the younger guides right now, but she made that suggestion and I'm like, because of the cost and because this is my last one, and he would be fine with that. There's a lot of good articles they want you to read in these notebook pages. There's a lot of good pictures, but I am glad I pulled it out because I'm realizing he didn't fill in every box, and that's probably how this son will be. There's a few things that he does do, and that's the narration for the notebook. He does the timeline. There's a few other things I'd like for him to do, and then he could read the articles. So I want to come up with something, a design that will work for this school year and that will be ready. I just don't want to be like, oh, let's just do this and throw it together. And you know what I mean there. They also have a president study, and they do have notebook pages for that. But again, I do have something I found that I can print off. So I want to make him a notebook for that. And he will be using the president. They have these DVDs. These are out of date, I know, because they're from 10 years ago. So, but I thought we will check them out and see if it's something that would at least benefit him, because the notebook pages I found do have specific questions and things like that. And this is new in their new guide, and I actually already had it. So I'm going to use these two things for the president study and then make my own notebook pages. Hopefully, if we don't get this done this summer, which I would like to see, we will carry this over to next school year. We're using the 50 states under God, studying about the states also. So those would be like considered enrichments for this history program, Heart of Dakota, and it's all scheduled in the guide, which is great. Okay, those are my 8th grade picks for the 2025-2026 school year. I do have some things that I need to work on. I will be sharing with you definitely what I choose for his science and how I put it together. I'm excited about that. And I remember when the kids were little, I used to like to do a lot of notebooking pages with putting curriculum together. And so I'm looking forward to this. I think I'm just, after homeschooling so many years, I'm just stepping out and saying, we can do this. We're allowed to. We've done this enough that we know what is expected. And so I'm excited about that. And just letting him make his own notebook for the Heart of Dakota is something I'm stepping out and doing, but I think he'll enjoy it. I have some ideas, and I will share those with you also. But if you have any questions about anything else, let me know. If you'd like to see anything, just look through it. I can share more depth of that with you. But if you are new to my channel and you enjoy homeschool content, I would love for you to join us by subscribing. And if this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. That would encourage me. All right, I do hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you again soon.